Yes, please go ahead now.
Yeah, hi Balaji. So Balaji, my problem statement with the client is like it's not like from waterfall to agile transformation. So the team is already kind of doing hybrid agile, So they already have ADO board, they already have sprints, and a few of the ceremonies, not all of them. Okay.
Mm.
And the thing is now, the client is into benefits administrations, and they are in the
Okay.
process of onboarding the clients. Okay.
Okay.
So now the issue that they're facing is like, capacity versus, velocity, So the
Okay.
product team says like, we have a lot of features and, lot of work to be done. But the product engineering team is like, we don't have the capacity. Okay. But there is no visibility about what exactly the squads are doing.
Okay.
So that is the major problem statement and the issue. And I have been told to look into the as is process. What
Uh-huh.
exactly they are doing today. I haven't started that. I'll be starting from Monday. But before that, I have been told to come up with the agile transformation plan for this particular scenario where they're already doing some hybrid agile, but
Mm-hmm.
the ceremonies and all are also taking place. But I don't know how effective they are because I see there are quite some loopholes there. Also, the team members, I don't think they are estimating it properly the with the story points and all. So hence, there is no visibility in terms of this matrices of what is their productivity in terms of velocity and all. So the ultimate aim is to give to the leadership team the matrices and the visibility in terms of capacity and in terms of what the team is actually delivering and what it is capable of delivering, based on their capacity.
Okay, okay. So we will go one by one. Okay. I'm just trying to put, see, now whatever problems you have told, I have just put it some pointers on a high level. So in this sheet, we will try to create a high level agile transformation roadmap for your context.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the point here is we need to understand one thing. We cannot boil the ocean. Not all problems can be solved in the first sprint itself. That's for sure. So, somewhere in your thinking, you need to see, we are talking about the two things here. One is from the delivery perspective, what improvements need to be done. Second is
Yes.
from the agile transformation perspective in terms of agile. Actually, see,
Mm-hmm.
okay, both the things should resonate. Okay, so in the industry, we actually call it as a system of delivery and system of a transformation. But you are talking
Mm.
about two things here. One is on the delivery side, second is on the agile maturity improvement side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we will do, first thing I will just start putting my thoughts over here. First of
Mm.
all, we need to identify something called as a North Star metrics. Okay. For
Mm.
example, given this is the see, now the point is like this. We are not going to fill the value to the variable. First, we will identify the variable. Okay.
Mm.
Then we will go to the discussion conversation because it is not that an agile coach or a scrum master RTE himself or herself can fill everything.
Mm.
Correct. You may need to have conversations, collaboration with your product owner, with your
Yes.
development team, QA, all the people. But you need to be clear on what am I going to capture it in the first place, right? So
Right.
definitely we need to begin it with a North Star metrics. Some placeholder you need to have to actually put what is the from state and what is the to state. Okay.
Mm.
See, because we need to understand one thing, we cannot take a template in the internet and then no just copy paste it for the context, right?
Right.
We need
Mm.
to create something which makes relevance to your context. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just putting something like from and to. What is from, what is to, we will fill it later. Okay.
Okay.
Now see, you told somewhere in that WhatsApp message you are having a 8 squads, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so my suggestion is, my experience is, you need to create a minimum of a 16-week roadmap.
Okay.
Why 16 week? Because pragmatically it will take minimum this much of time for 8 squads to improve. We cannot expect it in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, right?
Mm.
Then what you need to do is you need to create some phases in it. Okay, phase zero, something. What is that something we will actually discuss? Okay,
Hmm.
phase 0, and then I'm just putting phase 1. Maybe I'll just put up to 5 phases. Okay,
Hmm.
phase 2, something like phase 3. Then probably I'll put one more thing, phase 4, and one more thing as phase 5. So what we are trying to tell is, okay, for this context, I need to focus on 5 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4, 5. Then I will take the teams from the two state, no, from state to the two state, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, now what we will do, now we need to then put one more thing here. You are actually talking about, okay, we need to identify what are all your transformation work streams.
Okay.
Work streams means what? For example, product and the backlog, right?
Yeah.
See, these are all different aspects or dimensions. That's what I am trying to
Hmm.
tell. Something on
PR
some.
planning, yeah, PR planning, sprint planning, and then
No, 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 no. Those things I will put it in a separate bucket called process.
okay.
I'm putting something called the team agility, okay, which is on the process side, and I'm putting something like a engineering agility, which is on the technical side, okay,
Hmm.
and I'm putting some work stream for a delivery and the flow, okay.
Hmm.
Then you also need to put something for a governance, right? So your
Hmm.
governance agility. Then little bit, I'm going to create a placeholder for a culture and a capability.
Okay.
Okay. Now you think practically. If you tell a rainbow, we need to have 7 colors in a proper manner, correct? Similarly,
Hmm.
something like that, whatever you are trying to envision, whatever you are
Hmm.
trying to envisage in your mind, you should be
Hmm.
able to create that logical groupings and then put it fast. Not like keep on thinking and uh,
Hmm.
just sending mails and then keep on precipitating the task. You
Hmm.
understood, right?
Yeah.
Now, now see, now I have started putting the phases. I have started creating something called as a transformation work stream.
Hmm.
Now, somewhere definitely we need to create a target operating model, correct?
Hmm.
Right? Because that's what we are actually trying to do.
Yes.
Our ultimate objective is to have a robust target operating model. Okay.
Right.
Then something I will put one more cell here for a metrics. What metrics I can measure,
Hmm.
outcomes, what outcomes we need to show, and
Hmm.
what would be the success criteria,
Hmm.
right? Now,
Okay.
see, now the moment you create this placeholder, you need to
Hmm.
go back to that first sheet where we have documented the problems and then see everything is
Hmm.
been translated.
Okay.
See, till now I have not done anything, or I have
Hmm.
just taken your own things, whatever you have told,
Hmm.
but I am putting it in a structured manner.
Hmm.
Okay. So now here what we need to do, here only your experience comes. If this is the from state and this is the to state, probably what activities will come in week 0, week 1 to 2, week 3 to 4. That thing we should be able to tell. Correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go one by one. Okay. What is the from state now? Now you are saying that from state is a hybrid agile, correct?
Yeah.
So you put that from state as a hybrid agile and the to state as what? Complete. Okay, for now we will use the word complete agile
Yeah.
ways of working.
Hmm.
Okay, something like this. Okay, now what we need to do is come back here and in the from state, you start putting those attributes what you see. For example,
Okay.
we need to take care of our ceremonies.
Hmm.
Ceremonies are happening, but it need to be made in a robust manner, right?
Yeah.
Ceremony compliance need to be there,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
somewhere you told that requirements are not that great, so upfront requirement something. See,
Yes. Yes.
I'm just trying to fill some points here. Okay.
Oh, that is right. Even
Okay,
there is no PI planning.
okay, something like this I'm just putting. Now what will happen in the two state, everything should be perfect, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect means it is not ideally perfect, something like a
Hmm.
better state of existence compared to from where we begin the journey. Correct?
Correct.
So I'm picking up your own words. Somewhere you told outcome, somewhere you told no visibility. It means we need to promote visibility. It means we need to do a gap analysis. We need to have a better estimation techniques, and then we
Yes.
need to have a tab on outcome driven metrics. See,
Hmm.
my point is like this: if you are very clear in the from state and in the to state, then the process
Hmm.
becomes very easy to create.
Okay.
What I need to do to take my team of teams from state to state will be very clear if the
Hmm.
destination and the start state is been known.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'll just type something. I'll just put you on mute for some time. Here there is one.
Excuse me, Balaji. I just have one question. 16 week, is there a thumb rule to arrive at that? How you arrived at a 16 week?
See, actually, there is no mathematical formula on those aspects for a 16-week. But the point is, she is clearly telling it is for eight squads. So definitely on in teams of okay, in terms of our team level agility, you still need to have something like a program level maturity also, because we are talking about a team of teams. Now, from where does that 16 came? Because I have already done umpteen engagements in the past, which were somewhere around 14 weeks, 15 weeks. Some other engagements were around 18 weeks to get that maturity. So I put it as 16.
So 16 is based on the agile team numbers, or is it based on
Definitely,
the
no, both the
outcomes
team.
that you
See,
want to accomplish?
no, no. It actually depends on two things. That okay. Her particular situation clearly says they are not transitioning from waterfall to agile ways of working. They are transitioning from hybrid agile to better states of agile. Second is more the number of teams, more will be the effort for coordination, communication, collaboration. So that's not going to happen within 3 to 4 sprints. And if I take one sprint as 2 to 3 weeks roughly it should be a journey of 12 to 18 weeks 12 weeks minimum, 18 weeks maximum. From where does this number came? Because we have written umpteen RFPs in the past of a similar nature, so I took it as a 16. We will see. No, see, once we see, if we have a doubt on the 16, we can come back and change the 16. Once we start filling the phase 1 to phase 5, we can ourselves validate that number is realistic or not. Okay. For now, we will hold on to a number to begin the conversation. Cross-functional squads. I'm just putting. See what I'm trying to tell. No, back to you, Jyoti. Whatever positive adjectives, go ahead and then put it in the to state as long as it makes relevance to your context. Correct? Cross-functional squads, continuous delivery. Somewhere I'm putting metrics-led governance. See, these are indicators, okay? Once we have conversation, we may need to refine it, but we cannot go with a blank template to your prospect or client or your own senior management and have any conversation. We need to create something and then go. Okay. I think this is okay. Let's come to phase 0. Let's put some terms here. Instead of putting like crawling, sitting, running, walking, which may not look professional, I'm just using some other better terms. Phase 1 is to mobilize the team. Phase 0. Phase 1 here, I'm just trying to put something like a diagnose, something like a design. Okay. Okay. Something like a stabilize. Okay, from where am I picking up these words? Because this is what we have done for a lot of customers in the past based on the RFP. Once the project gets once that particular SOW gets signed off, we actually do a discovery phase of the project. Two things happen in the discovery. One is on existing landscape, what is the milestone, what is the requirement, more on the project side. This is more on the agile transformation side. Okay. So project activities should not be confused sometimes with agile maturity building activities. Scale and integrate. And here I'm also putting optimize and sustain. Because what is the guarantee that the team will not present fall down from the present level? So optimize and sustain. Okay.
Sorry,
Now
so
what? Yeah.
phase zero can be a data gathering exercise or analyze exercise instead of mobilize, or mobilize in, implies
We
that
will
you are
come back to
gathering.
that. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm going to fill the details now. I'm just creating placeholders on a high level. Based on the discussion, we will now create it. So phase zero could be what? Phase zero here could be creating a team charter working agreement or ensuring that the stakeholder engagement and communication plans are very robust enough. Something like a baseline plan need to be an outcome of the phase zero. Okay, see, I will tell in this manner, no, so that you folks can understand it better. Every phase should have a deliverable, and the deliverable should be positioned in such a manner the exit criteria of a phase one will become the entry criteria of a phase, like phase zero's exit will become the entry for phase one, so on and so forth. That connecting thread should be there. Otherwise, it will look like a silo. We need to take a systems thinking approach, right? So whatever I'm trying to do in phase zero should be like preparing the soil for us to sow the seed later. Correct. So the prerequisites should be there. So let's say in phase zero, I'm putting week zero. I'm just giving an example. Okay. Here I'll put week 1 and 2. Here we will put week 3 and 4. Here so on and so forth. Let's say here we'll put week 5 to 8, because why I'm putting 5 to 8 a more kind of a more duration, because it will take more time to compare to diagnose and design. Phase 3 will take more time, so I'm just extending the timeline there. And scale and integrate will also take time. So this should happen from week 9 to 12. If so, then optimize will definitely come week 13 to 16, roughly. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to, okay, Jyoti, now can you tell, no, because you know the context better, what activity we can put in the week zero?
Week zero mainly is going to be understand the as is process, have discussions with the squad leads, the product owners, the BAs. And also, based on this as is discussion, agree on, again meet with the stakeholders and agree on the to be process as well.
Okay, so I got put it here, right? Understand the assets, discussion with diversified group, stakeholder alignment. This much is enough for now. Now we will focus what will be the deliverable of phase zero. You're getting it right. See, we
Yes.
started with, see, I am trying to teach you fishing rather than giving a single fish. We started with a blank sheet, correct? I'm creating this sheet in the runtime, because I don't want to create something and then come and show you people. Then what is the value? We need to create it in the runtime. So what I'm trying to say, you are only telling things, but I am giving a framework to it to put it in a very organized manner. These answers came from you only. Okay, now you tell me, in your context, do you think that creating a team charter working agreement could be a deliverable? You know, right? There is something
Yes.
called team charter working
Yeah, yeah,
agreement.
yeah.
Okay, so let's put team charter working agreement as a deliverable here. Then, one more thing. What about having some governance? Governance cadence means, hey, these meetings will happen in this particular periodicity. My
Yes.
backlog refinement session will happen every alternate week, something like that. Okay, governance cadence and some kind of a baseline plan. Okay, what is the baseline plan? We will come later. We will fill it on a high level in phase one. Here you tell me what should come.
In diagnosis, I think I am supposed to attend all the the scrum all the meetings, whatever meetings are happening or whatever ceremonies, and understanding how it is actually being done as of today. You know.
No, but that thing we cannot put in a transformation roadmap. No, that is something like a.
Okay.
I understand, but that is our day to
Okay.
day. Here we need to put at this level. For example, maturity assessment. You are getting
Oh,
that?
yes. Yeah.
To
Agile
understand,
maturity
yeah,
assessment.
to
Okay.
understand the current level, anti patterns, trying to understand are there
Hmm.
any anti patterns. Okay, what would be the baseline metrics? Because if you don't even baseline the metrics in the phase one, how are you going to measure it? Baseline metrics, are there any impediments or blockers? At least on a high level we need to have a clarity. So this should come in the phase one. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now let's insert one line. Let's copy this particular deliverable and then put it over for all the things. See, this is how you folks should need to create real-time templates. Now, when the context changes, I will change the template. The problem with downloading templates from the internet is tomorrow in the runtime, customer will tell that I want to do it in a some other manner. At the time, who will tell you what to change where? Correct. So the what I'm trying to say is in a real-time industry, this is how conversation should happen with your team. But you need to have that knowledge, base knowledge of putting things in a proper manner. Okay, now you see if this is the activity, what are we trying to deliver? We are trying to deliver the agile maturity score. Correct. You need to know, right? My team's
Yes.
agile maturity number is this. So I generally tell people when we go to a doctor will check the vitals, right? Your temperature, BP, SpO2, heartbeat, pulse rate. Why? Because vitals are indicators of the health of the patient at that point in time. Similarly, agile maturity number, agile maturity index, though it does not tell everything, because you still the patient and doctor need to have a conversation. But agile maturity number is an indicator to tell this is where the maturity level is there for that particular team, and you have some parameters in that. So my say is what you need to deliver here is we need to know the agile maturity score. We also need to know the heat map. What will go inside the heat map, that is something we need to see. Okay, I will come back, but a placeholder I'm just creating. Then are there any systemic issues like a blockers? See, sometimes the system itself will create a problem, right? See, for example, an architect goes on a vacation and they don't have any backup architect. So without that particular architect approval, I cannot start designing the design pattern or the code or whatever it is. So these are all intrinsic issues in this system. Without solving that system, agility cannot be established. So someone said, I have purchased a BMW car. So what? You are still going to run the car on a pathetic road. If the road is pathetic, whether it's a BMW car or a Maruti car, doesn't make much sense in terms of the travel. Of course, the user comfort and experience will change between the cars. So certain things, whatever you do will not improve in the presence of the systemic issues. Okay, that needs to be addressed. Agreed. Now let's go to the third one. Now, what do you think? What we need to do here? Jyoti, can you tell some thoughts? Because you know the context, right?
Yes. You mean to say for design, right?
Design. What we need to do and what needs to be delivered.
Okay. For design, then we will have to make sure we are implementing those agile practices or processes in place.
So what it means, you need to start addressing your target operating model at least from phase two. Otherwise, when are we going to do that? Correct. It will be too
Yeah.
late. So
Yeah.
start focusing on the target operating model, redefine the roles. See, now
Hmm.
if any people ask you, why are you writing cadence here? Why are you writing here also cadence? This is the
Hmm.
roles and cadence at the beginning maturity level. Now
Hmm.
here you are doing improvements, right? So
Yes.
based on the envisioned or envisaged target operating model, roles need to be redefined, cadences need to be aligned accordingly. On there could be even a chance that your definition of ready and definition of done also may need to be remodeled. Okay, so something like that we may need to put some placeholders here. Now we will go to the next one.
I have a question here, Balaji.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
the cadence is to be aligned across all the teams. Is that a necessity, or some people can have their cadences on a certain day of the week to start, or start the sprint and all that? or is it like we are trying? So is that a necessity? That's what I just wanted to.
Yes, I will tell you. The answer is very easy. It is a necessity provided all the teams are going to deliver the software, and that software needs to be integrated in at a system demo level or at a solution demo level to yield a single product. However, if the teams are not having an integrated code base wherein there is no necessity for the teams to come together to integrate the code base to give a system demo, just from an operational engagement point of view, these teams come under a single project. So they have grouped these 8 squads under the single project. Then there is no necessity. So it actually depends upon the granular details. See, now you think practically. Even in the SAFe, synchronization is needed because SAFe talks about something like a system demo as part of your PI planning, the PI planning outcome and all. Because SAFe talks about features at a program level, epics at a portfolio level, and user stories and tasks at a team level. So there what happens without cadence and synchronization, you cannot get into a system demo or a solution demo. However, if there is no real need for the code base to be integrated, there is no hard rules that all the teams should start the sprint at the same day and they end the sprint at the same day. And most likely there is no rule that all the teams should follow the same cadence also. Some teams may have a 2 week sprint, some teams may have a 3 week sprint. However, if they need to give a system demo and show a single product to the customer, then not only the length of the sprint, the start date and end date also need to be aligned same for all the teams.
Understood, Balaji. So, which means that what we are doing here is independent of whether we use less or safe or any methodology. This what we are following is a very ground level basics to accomplish our
Of
objective.
course, see, agility as a state of existence is independent of the framework. In fact, speaking, frameworks are there to enable us to give a organized way of doing things. Framework part we have not even touched. I am here talking about principles behind practices, not really no coupling my thought to a single framework. For now, at least, framework part we will come back.
Understood,
Okay, this
Balaji.
is
Very
some,
clear.
yeah. See, because see, agile as a state of existence is independent of the framework. However, to reach that maturity level in your Shuari journey, you cannot reach that maturity level without a framework to begin with. But after certain maturity level, the same framework which helped you to grow the journey can become a bottleneck. So at the time, we cannot keep on holding on to the framework. We need to create our own rules. That is the concept of a Shuhari. Okay, so back to you, Jyoti. Here, what we will do now, here I will tell you, like, we will start defining all the goals here, right? In a much more refined manner.
Okay.
And then we will ensure that all the ceremonies are done and dusted, are done, validated, and then retro action items are also found and getting action. So I'll just put it like this: retro items found and found and log action. For now we will put something like this and then keep it, then we will come back. Okay, now let's go to the phase 4. What we need to do is to take it across teams of team. Definitely you need to have a program level cadence here. This is where complexity will increase. So here you need to talk about your scrum of scrum meetings. Something like product owner
Balaji,
sync up meeting.
sorry, Balaji, one question I have. Now, is there a milestone we are defining where we are going to cast aside our agile or our hybrid skin and start wearing our pure agile skin? Like, is there a milestone to define that? Because at which point will the team cast off hybrid, bring in pure agile? Is there a milestone to be defined?
See, let me ask you one thing. Which particular milestone are you talking? Are you talking milestone from system of delivery, or are you talking milestone from system of transformation? Because you have two milestones. One is the delivery of the software. At a program level, you may have a milestone. Here we are talking about system of transformation.
Correct. For
Means,
transformation itself, I'm saying for transformation, there
yes,
should
one of
be
the
a
milestones. Yeah, one of the milestone you can create as a goal-driven transformation. That comes under goal-driven transformation. See, for example, form teams, metrics baseline, make and meet a commitment, improve the system, maintain a stable throughput, maintain a 3 months rolling wave backlog. These are also milestones, but these outcomes are tied to agile transformation roadmap. This has nothing to do with your delivery project roadmap.
Yes, I
Correct.
understood that. That's what I'm saying, that for transformation, because we are moving away from hybrid, which was having some maybe element of waterfall or whatever, some
Correct.
which was not a pure agile, to
Yeah,
move
we
to a
will
pure
define the
agile.
milestones. Yeah,
Yeah.
we will be defining the milestones here in the metrics, outcomes, and the success criteria. We already defined placeholders, no? See, now after filling up the phase journey, we will re-baseline the target operating model, and then we will put some metrics, outcomes, and the success criteria. See, now generally people ask me, what is the success criteria for an agile transformation? Answer is very simple. Fulfillment of the goal of the agile transformation is the success criteria. But then the next question will come, what is the goal of the transformation? That is something you guys need to tell, right? How come I will know as a consultant for what you guys are doing agile transformation? So answer to that question, Jodi should tell us. But having been said that, getting that goal done is the success criteria, because Philips does an agile transformation for some other reason. Okay, Siemens does that agile transformation or safe implementation for some other reason. BMW does it for some other reason. It could be improvement in predictability, improvement in quality, ensuring that the dependencies are not getting blocked. So we need to define the goal. Fulfillment of the goal will become the success criteria, and whatever activities which help you to take you to that goal will become the milestones, which we will fill. First we will complete this. Jyoti, can we do one thing? No, can we fill some deliverables here one by one for a design?
Design. Uh, Target agile operating for design.
Coaching backlog. No. What about coaching backlog? See, you have done an agile maturity as assessment. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next step is 30, 60, 90 days plan to coach the team.
Okay.
That's why I told one line, right? Whatever is the exit criteria of here will become the entry criteria for the next one.
Right.
Okay. And one more thing I will put, when I say DO or DOD, it is at all levels, team level, program level backlog, portfolio level backlog, not just your team level backlog. I think these two things can be there. And even your target operating model, freezing the model also we can should be the deliverable here.
Yes.
And here see here here the target operating model is work in progress, and okay, here it is freezed. That's the difference. People should not ask me why are you putting it in two places, because English meaning is something different from context meaning. Okay, now you think through like this. In the stabilize, I'm doing these many items. So your problems should get solved here. That's the meaning. So whatever started you put here, the problems, no, all these problems should by and large get solved here logically. So what I am putting is improved ceremonies. Let it be in caps, not a problem. Improved ceremonies, and ready backlog. Ready backlog means what is the meaning? Definition of ready is ensured for the next two sprints. You are saying, right, backlog is not ready. That
Yes.
should be ready then. Correct. Why backlog is important? Because without having the input, what is that we can begin the journey? For me to get an output, input should be there, process should be there. Process part, Scrum Master can take care. But input part, business analyst and product owner need to take care. If they are not taking care, it is a responsibility of Scrum Master and Agile coach to coach them to get it done. Coaching doesn't mean doing coaching. It is a mixture of coaching, facilitation, consulting, everything. Okay, so the ready backlog should be there, and the sprint health need to be checked, right? How are you progressing in the sprint?
And also, we will again have agile assessment score, right? Here, agile assessment metrics here.
No, okay, the agile maturity assessment, I will recommend you can do it once in 3 to 4 months. Why? It is a heavyweight activity. It is not because the purpose of agile maturity assessment is to come up with a 30, 60, 90 days plan. So logically, it means the next assessment you need to do after 30 days, after 30, 60 days at least, right? So I generally do it once in 3 months when I was working as an agile coach. Because see, creating something is okay, but the team should take some time to get acquainted to that new ways of working and settle down, right? We need to give them the breathing space. So assessment will be done once in a quarter. So no, the same metrics, whether it improves, you need to check, but no need to go for the assessment. You are
Balaji,
getting it.
can I add one more point about
Yeah, please, sir. Please, sir.
about conflicts and acceptance and buy-ins and also sentiment analysis. So, along any transformation, we may face some kind of hurdles where change is not easily taken by the the constituents or the stakeholders of the agile transformation or the subjects of the agile transformation. So, is there some way we have to some place where we have to look into that as well in the spaces?
Srini, okay, Srini only asked that question, right?
Yes,
Who asked that?
it's me, Srini.
Okay, Srini, if you don't mind, can you come again on that question in a succinct manner? I was thinking that
Yeah.
you are asking the question to Jyoti.
What I'm
Can you
saying
please?
is when you go for agile transformation like this, there may be a lack of buy-in, there may be conflicts, there may be pushbacks, and people may not take to it very easily and calmly as you expect them to. How are
Okay.
we addressing those exceptions, handling from all the stakeholders or the constituents of the agile teams in a way so that you're able to make progress further? And secondly, do we have some kind of sentiment analysis to help us in our journey? So that was.
See, okay. So to answer to your question, there are multiple aspects or dimension to it. Let me go one by one. Now the point is how far the company is going to take the transformation in a very serious mode. It actually depends on the culture of the company. But any company, they are more interested in the delivery. Now the point is, if we are using this agile transformation as a means to a better end, means agile transformation is not the end goal. It is a means to a better state of existence. Now, if the benefits of agile transformation is going to improve the delivery mechanism and the quality mechanism, and you start getting no things started picking up the momentum, and people are able to deliver the user stories and show the value, then creating a buy-in should not be a challenge or a problem. Otherwise, just saying and conducting only workshops and meetings saying we need to get buy-in will not work out pragmatically, because even the leaders, they will be interested in the delivery. Okay, are we in tune with the plan? Are there any risks? They are not really interested in how many story points we have burned, what ALM tool we are using, how is my burn down maturity chart look like. They are not even interested to know what is your agile maturity index value. They are interested in whether my scope, cost and time can be met in a nice manner as planned, and whether my agile is going to help or not. So I think once you prove your value in the first sprints, then automatically the resistance will come down, though they may not support you fully. See, this is a pragmatic answer, okay? There are a lot of theoretical answers, but we cannot take the theory answers and then work in a company. See, if you go to theory answers, theory says you need to do organization change management. Where is time for the scrum master or agile coach to do all these things? Scrum masters are struggling with the teams itself. However, how can they do organization change management, and who is going to attend all those things? Correct. So my way of handling the thing is, if you prove your agile transformation as a means to improve your system of delivery, and sprint after sprint your retrospective action items getting closed, and that benefits will show in the metrics, because data will not speak lies unless it is manipulated. when they see the trend improving, planned versus committed, and quality also improving, automatically the resistance will come down.
Understood.
That's
So the setting the vision at the phase zero level is one of the important things that we have to do. Would you agree that setting the vision, showing the benefits, showing that this is a better process is something we have to do at the outset, very
See,
outset,
they
not
know
the,
that. See, they actually know for that for sure that Agile is going to help them. That's why the company leadership has decided to go in Agile. If not, why are they going to go in Agile? They also know that Agile is going to help them. But their primary questions in the mind is, I am more interested in the delivery. And second thing is, I understand that Agile is going to help you. But can you guys prove it? Those things have worked in the books, but what about your team? Can you guys, will you be able to demonstrate me value? That is the question. Correct. So what I'm trying to say is that people are not, see, we need to understand one thing. If it's in a delivery model, delivery is the primary thing. See, now you take an example, no? Let's say that we are telling we have improved in agile ways of working, and let's say the delivery goes for a task. Then who is interested in all these things? We need to use delivery as a yardstick to tell guys, this is the value that transformation have brought in. Now see the delivery improvements. Now see the quality improvement. Then people will listen to you. Okay, fine. You think through on my points in the meantime. So let's keep going in the interest of time. Week 13 to 16. So Jyoti, here what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk little bit on the flow metrics. See, you may need to read separately. Okay, I am just giving you pointers.
Yes.
Okay, something on quality, something on predictability. All these things should come over here. From here, it need to start going in an autopilot mode. At least the tendency. Then what we need to do, you can even leverage your agile center of practice, or your, if you have an agile center of excellence, some kind of a capabilities from them, because you are already in the optimize and the sustain phase. Reuse some capabilities, something like that. Reuse capabilities. Then here you finalize your sustainability model. Okay, creating a playbook, all these things come here. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's see how it goes. Here I'll just put one separator. Okay, we have defined the phases. We have put the deliverables here. I think it's just a minute. It's my mistake. Uh, this is correct only, but this playbook and these things should come here, because these are the deliverables for it. No,
Yeah, they should
yeah,
come all.
this should come here. This is okay. This is okay. Flow metric should be here. Quality, predictability, all these reuse. Okay, so this is how your phase looks like. Now, what we need to fill? We need to fill this one. Which one? Here, something we need to fill. No, for all these things. Correct.
Yes.
So these are the transformation work streams what we wrote right at that time. Right. So okay, see, I'm just putting some pointers here. Okay, then you may need to refine it for sure. Okay, so product backlog means I'm just putting value based prioritization. So you need to teach them the different prioritization techniques. Story slicing, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, outcome roadmaps. So these things are something which will come over there. Now let's go to team level agility. Here what should come? Working agreements, right? See, the point is, because you folks have asked me a roadmap, we are putting some our thoughts in an Excel in rows and columns. But understand, from a system thinking perspective, all the cells of this Excel are integrated. So when you view it, you should not view as a disjointed set. That is what I'm trying to tell. Whatever you are putting here only will go as an input into your agile maturity sheet. and whatever that highest maturity sheet should sync up or resonate with the target operating model. So don't treat these things as a disjointed set. We are talking different languages of the same universe. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so here let's do one thing now. Team agility, what I meant is more on the process. Okay, so working agreements. You are finalizing your events. Let's say that we are beginning to use this Scrum as a framework, retro loops. Like you are actually very clear on what are all the areas to improve. Trying to move the team to self management. Okay, some people ask me how to make your agile teams self organized. Very simple. First, make the team cross functional, really cross functional, not a theoretical cross functional. The moment you make the team really cross functional in terms of the demand supply mapping, in terms of the technical demands of the project versus the capability, and when you give them, this is what we are going to go ahead for the next quarter priority, automatically the teams will become self organized. But without making the team cross functional, just telling become self organized will not work out. Okay, engineering agility. Now here you need to talk all your CI/CD, your technical agility need to come over here. So while I type this, go to Google. I request everyone to go to Google and then type agile coaching competency framework, and then watch that particular image. Code review, these things should come, right? Also focusing on a technical depth, clearing the technical depth, anything like a shift left approaches. These things should come over here. All right. Now see, slowly we are creating it now. We are not copy pasting it just like that from internet or downloading it from ChatGPT. After doing this homework, you can go to ChatGPT and then cross verify. If you use ChatGPT at the beginning itself, then tomorrow, one day, unfortunately, if AI is not there, people cannot think. I also have that tendency to refer to ChatGPT. I consciously resist it because ChatGPT gives you knowledge, but not intelligence and ability to think. It will give everything in a structured manner. So we immediately think that it is good. And there is a proverb: good is the enemy of the best. Something which is appearing to be good will not help you to take you to next level of best. So ChatGPT give you good inputs, but good is the enemy of the best. So just keep that point in mind. Okay, here what I'm doing, I'm trying to put that visualization and all, visualize workflow. Because it is a delivery and flow, I'm just pulling some Kanban concepts here. Uh, then you also need to reduce your block time and spill over. From where did I took the block time? Because you gave me the input saying impediments. Somewhere you told me they have some impediments. No, from that impediment, I'm just taking pointers. Okay. Then what we'll do for governance agility? Can you tell me some pointers? Any of you for governance? What we can put?
It will be mostly
Have a sorry, please go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. One by one, please. Please
Yeah,
go ahead.
maybe have a kind of a stakeholder, senior management acting as a governance board, which will review this particular plan at the outset and also the progress week on week, and be able to suggest any changes as we go along. Changes, when I say, they are fully informed, kept informed, and people know what is the progress of this transformation endeavor, given that it's one of the it's of very critical importance to the company's business. So that would be governance. It should not come as a surprise to anyone. It should be
Okay.
factored into the.
So I'm just using this word here, something like this: evidence over status, metrics related decisions, and your audit variables. All these things comes under governance. See, governance can mean multiple things. It also means team level governance, program level governance, portfolio governance, entire engagement governance. It could also mean operational level governance. So we need to see first of all at what level we are trying to operate. Accordingly, the answer will change. Because even in the PMO, there are different types of a PMO, right? Directive PMO, supportive PMO. We still don't know what type of PMO is in her company. Based on the nature of the PMO, also the governance will change. Okay. So that is why I tell people agile means not being strong only in agile. You also need to know project management, program management, delivery management, how to integrate it into the framework of agile. Only knowing agile will not help. Okay, here we are actually talking about all these things. No, I told, right, you are trying to leverage something from the organization in terms of this. See, these are all terms which we frequently use in the RFPs for multiple clients. So I'm just typing it. If it is new to you, you may need to read a bit on these particular terms, then you will be able to understand. So we have filled this now. So, okay, work streams I have identified. We have filled on a high level what are all the things we are going to do in the phases. We have also filled the deliverables. Now we will put something here. Okay, now you tell, if this is the deliverable, this is the target state, then what are all the good things my target operating model should contain? Squads. So let's start
What
with
about
this.
velocity? Is velocity and burn down part of the target
Ah,
operating model?
those things we will put in this tab, metrics, outcomes, and success criteria. Now we are only talking about the target operating model. So here I'm putting like this. Squad structure, okay. Governance also will come here, because without governance, you cannot create a robust target operating model. You need to put some elements of cadence here. And because you are telling that you are having eight squads, right? How are you going to have some cross squad sync? Okay. See, now this thing you folks need to keep in mind. Before you jump on to how to do, two questions need to be crystal clear. What to do, why to do. If what to do is not clear and why to do is not clear, there is no point in putting hours of time to find out how to do. Right? So why am I telling you this is, when someone says me whether to include cross squad in target operating model, yes, from the angle of, because we are creating an operating model for a 8 squads. But to what extent the coupling effect will be there, that thing I'm not sure. Only when I get into the nitty gritties of the two of the no of that particular team, I can comment further. Because now Srini asked one question. No, that's a very good question. Whether all the teams need to have the same sprint start date, end date, it actually depends. It depends upon whether the product mandates a system demo or not. It also depends upon how many features are shared features across the. No, if all the teams are having, all the teams are having independent features, then why to have the same cadence? Whatever cadence suits the people, they can do. But at a release level, all the teams, if they want to converge the source code to create to release the product, then the kind of intricate complications need to be factored. So those details should come here in the cross squad sync.
Balaji, what if there is some new tool being implemented or augmentation of the existing tool being done to move from this
Yeah,
agile,
that
from
we can.
hybrid to
Yeah,
where will that come?
we can even you can even put it like this, no? ALM tool finalization slash upgradation. Something like that, we can actually put it over here.
Yeah.
See, tool training, yeah, tool training will be something separate. Okay. See, one guy will be very, very good in Agile, but let's say Balaji knows Agile. But unfortunately, Balaji had not worked on a service now. I'm just giving an example, okay? Now, if someone gives me service now and expects me to do magic, it will be difficult for me because the tool is a bit new to me. I need to understand the navigation. So yes, that's a good point. Here we need to finalize this, but most likely the license will be given by the client. No, so we are not going to change the tool. Whatever tool the client is using, we'll just try to replicate it. Cadence, cross squad sync. I think governance we cover. DOR, DOD. So Jyoti, can you help me in filling this now? Let's put some content here inside this.
Metrics, outcomes, and success
No,
criteria.
no, let's go one by one. First thing is what? Squad is your squad or pod. So who are all there? PO,
PO, developers, QA, business analyst,
developers, QA, business analyst. Okay,
and the
then
solution architect, which is common for the teams.
that's okay, but still we need to put no architect. Then
Yeah.
anyone from the DevOps team, I'll put anyway because practically in engineering side someone need to do right.
Yeah.
Most important, yeah, we have missed Scrum Master.
Balaji,
PO,
cut to the current day, do we also have AI agents also embedded here, or that is something far-fetched right now?
yeah, that part we will come later because we are already see AI agents. We will address it because when actually Vivek is going to ask his question, I think he will ask about the AI agent. But AI agent will not come while we are trying to see AI agents and all. We need to really pick it up after 16th week. No, here the team is struggling to breathe and pick up the momentum. Why to
Mm.
introduce a why to introduce a AI agent and complicate it now?
Understood, Balaji.
Actually, introducing AI agent is perfectly fine, but when are you introducing it may either create a success or create a catastrophe. The timing matters, not now. Okay, governance. What we will do? See, certain things will get a repeated. Okay, because we are talking about the same system here. So here in governance, I'm going to focus on outcomes, flow, blah blah blah, quality, predictability, and impediment based reviews and removals. Impediment based reviews and removals. Okay, reviews and removals, and also risk assessment of the project. These things will come under governance here. Okay, now let's go to cadence. Cadence, I have already told. Somewhere I told, right? Scrum of Scrum, all those
Yeah.
things you folks can put it over here. SOS, product owner sync. If you have two different product owners, they need to have a meeting. Then you,
Yeah.
you also need to check on the release readiness. Probably weekly you can have one call. Okay. So my bad. This thing, I think this thing. One second, wait. I'm just getting confused. Okay, this thing should come over here because SOS is a point of cross squad. Here we will talk about your internal cadences, your 2 week sprint, weekly one
Yeah.
time you have your product backlog refinement.
Mm.
Correct. Those
Yeah.
aspects will come over here. So I will tell you how I used to do. In 2013, long back, when I was working as a scrum master in some company, whenever a situation, because those days under ChatGPT was not there, right? Quite obvious. I used to take a paper pen and I used to draw. I used to do visual thinking. I will not take an Excel file. I used to take a paper pen, sit and draw. How does the target operating model should look like? I have conversations with the people. Sometimes even that diagram, I used to draw it in a nice manner, take a photo, then send it to the delivery folks, get a consensus. Then I will sit in the final PPT and then I will do it. Keep on changing the PPT is a waste of time. So we need to see some fast ways of working. That's what I'm trying to tell. Okay, review and do some retrospective for every sprint. So cadence has been done. Cross cadence we have already put it. Okay, this should be good. I think squad structure, governance we have taken, cadence we have put, cross squad sync we have put. Okay, DO or DOD. I'm just thinking what to put here. Here, what it means is clearly defined acceptance criteria. Dependencies should be known at least. We are not expecting it to resolve. And basically the user stories should have been. You are actually using a technique and basically an agreed upon technique to slice the user story. All these things will come under DOR. DOD, can you give me some examples of a DOD? code review, right? Your code review, your tests getting passed, your automation run should pass, your quality gates need to be, whatever quality gates you are defining, it need to be there. Code base need to be integrated in your CI/CD or Jenkins pipeline so that the code will be releasable for the downstream systems to test. These
Can we
things will
say
come in.
unit test passed here, Balaji, instead of system test or
Yeah, we can
integration
actually
test?
put it here. Yeah. Whatever test which is actually deemed fit for the context, we can put it here. So we have created this. Now
And
later you
what
need to.
about matrices like Balaji?
No, metrics we have not even started. No, see here. That's what I told to Srini also. No, metrics we will come. Like, except metrics, we have created everything now. Now you take a look into the sheet now. See, that's why
Mm.
I have not filled the North Star metrics, and this metrics also I have not filled it. Other things we have filled it. Okay. Now see the sheet is been, at least we have something now to talk. Earlier it was a blank sheet, right? This is how you need to create it, actually speaking.
Right.
What we do is, once we have clarity on the thought, then we give it to our design team or something. They will create beautiful diagrams out of it, because you cannot expect an agile coach to sit and draw. They put a pictorial representation. Thoughts will come from us. Presentation aspect some other team will do in my companies and all. Okay. Now let us go to this metrics. Now you tell me what are the things we can put.
Said velocity, feature burn down.
One is the product, to start with a healthy product backlog. So we need that matrices for product health.
No,
Product
first you
backlog
create.
health.
No. First you create a quadrant approach, group the metrics, then you go to the individual metrics. That will be a better way of a representation rather than telling
Yeah.
metrics one by one. You are getting it right. I'm just creating
Yeah.
a group here. Okay, my bad. It's not. It's not. I have not merged it. I wanted to group the metrics. Okay, one first quadrant, second. Here, what I'll do after grouping the metrics, whatever you folks are saying, I will put it there. Not now. Correct? Let's see what it comes. Okay, now let's say the first quadrant. Here we'll put only flow based metrics. Here we'll put something on the predictability aspect. Here I will put something on the quality aspect. See what will go inside quality, that is something we are yet to finalize. But I am actually creating the container and then keeping it ready. Content will come later, because you cannot go with a blank one. At least in this high level, you may need to keep and go. Then with discussion, see, you need to fill this with discussion with the team. Otherwise, no team will not feel comfortable with whatever you have created. Correct? Let's say here I'll put the the outcomes like this. You may need to create within this. Now you people tell me whatever you wanted to tell. I will actually put it over there. So predictability here,
Uh,
very important metrics. Sprint goal success. How many sprints we are able to achieve where the goal is been met, planned versus delivered. This is also important. Are there any carry forward? Are there any scope churn? Requirements keep on getting changed.
What
This will
about
come over
technical
here.
debt creation? Is technical debt creation also in
No, it will come in quality, right? Technical debt has something to do with your code. So obviously
code?
it's an engineering metric. It's not a process metric. In flow, it will come cycle time, lead time, work in progress, blocked time. Or the aging of your impediments. This will come in flow. In quality, first thing in quality is escaped defects. In production, you should not have bugs. That is number one. Then only automation, code coverage, all these things matter. I was attending one interview some 12 years back. That guy asked me the metrics. I just asked him, can I use the board? And I wrote some 43, 45 metrics. That is the only question that guy asked. He was quite comfortable to take me there. at that time, because at that time the interviewing was something different. Nowadays only it has become very difficult, right? At the time, if you tell velocity, you will get an offer letter. Nowadays, if you tell velocity, interviewer will get irritated, because everyone will tell about only velocity. Okay, outcome I'm putting like this as a sample. Okay, your feature delivery, your time to market is also an outcome. Business value realization, all these are outcomes. Your stakeholder trust, if there is a
What
way
about
to measure it.
CSAT? Is
Yeah,
CSAT
yeah.
score part of this?
CSAT, NPS, product brand index. I'm just putting a short form. Product brand index, even revenue improvements, all these things comes under outcome. Okay, so we have created this. We have created the sheet now. Now what we need to go, put some North Star metrics. I think North Star metrics, multiple metrics may be here, because this is the North Star metrics is something like a lighthouse, right? In your journey, this is one metrics, or these are the group of metrics towards which I am trying to propel the team. The meaning of a North Star metrics. So here metrics doesn't mean it should be a single word. You can even put some line. So what we will do, we will remove the word metrics. It may confuse you people. I'm trying to define the North Star for my team. Okay, empowered, cross-functional, empowered, cross-functional squads. I'll tell squads that can do end-to-end functionality. Means right from the moment a requirement is getting triggered all the way to production deployment, hypercare, parallel run, maintenance with minimal handoffs. We cannot tell zero handoffs, correct? Minimal handoffs and maximum business alignment, which is my North Star. And you also told you are already doing a hybrid agile. So shift the core system from ceremony led delivery to value led. Value led. I'm putting some positive adjectives here: product centric, outcome driven, agile execution. Your North Star and your target operating model and your metrics should resonate. If not, that is a problem. So I'm just giving you the same color here. These three cells should synergize or resonate. If not, there is a problem. Okay, now what
Balaji,
we'll
one
do.
question. Sorry, one question. Is North Star metric a single overarching metric, or it can be split into multiple smaller metrics like what I see here? Like, is it a single overarching metric, North Star?
No, North Star could be some 3 to 4 metrics also, because it is very difficult in a real-time engagement to just use a single metric. Point number one. The second problem with using a single metric is the ability to do system thinking will also gets diluted. So what we really do is, instead of a North Star, we will do something called as a OKR driven agile transformation. I create a OKR, then I orchestrate my transformation roadmap in such a manner every building block of the roadmap should fulfill the OKR, and within the OKR basically I will define KRAs and the KPIs. So your North Star metrics will anyway be factored the moment I build a OKR driven. But to answer to your question, North Star need not be a single metrics. It can be combinational metrics also. So now ask it to the business and the client. No, whatever they feel comfortable, it's better to go with them rather than no strictly going by the books. Okay, see Jyoti, now we are done with this. Now what we need to do is, here we have defined the from state. No, now you need to define the to state also here, right? To state I defined it actually. It is somewhere here in the column. See here, it is there here. Correct. So
Yeah.
now your entire transformation journey should actually take this team. You can put an arrow here later. Okay, I'm not going to put the diagrams and all. All that I'm trying to say is I'll just give you some pointers. You can see how to put it. Now here what we will do is I'll put some other color. It's very flashy. Here we will put, this is the transformation journey. Transformation journey. See, now you people do one thing. I don't want this to be done at the beginning of the call. Go to Google and then type, like you typed that Agile Coaching Competency Framework, you now type same thing, Agile Transformation Roadmap, and click on the images, see an image over there. That particular image will be similar to this. Only thing is we are putting text here. So it is verbose. That image will be pictorially created. Can you do it now? And then tell me, are we missing anything very vital here? Just see. More hybrid constraints, strengthen the flow, build product agility. I'm just putting some nice positive words which leaders love to see. Okay, so I am in the hybrid. There is a transformation journey which consists of 5 phases, which is spanning across these weeks, which consists of these activities inside that. These are all the deliverables what we need to achieve, and my transformation work stream is going to cut across these aspects. My target operating model looks like this. These are the metrics. Okay. So here I will put one caveat here by, let's say, by week 16, because we have assumed it to be 16 week. You need to have a stable cadence. Okay. And two sprint ready backlog, lower spillover of user stories, working demos, closing of a retrospective action items, and proactive dependency and quality management. Okay.
I have one question here. Sorry.
Okay.
Since we are harmonizing all the cadences, all the sprints together, in order to be meeting the sprint timelines, that is 2 week sprint, 3 week sprint, if they're all harmonized, we can descope any content from the sprints, but we cannot extend the sprint beyond its stated date for any of the sprints. So because everyone has to be at the same point at time and has to start delivery towards the final release where everything is integrated, you can descope from user stories, or you can descope any content.
No, the sprint length. Okay, okay. Just a second. See, the sprint length can anyway should not be changed and cannot be changed. No, going back to basics of agile, because a sprint is a fixed timeline, irrespective of whether I have a dependency with multiple teams, or irrespective of whether I have multiple teams in the ecosystem or not. Timeline should not be changed. All that we can do at an engagement level is you can actually descope the timeline, or you push the date of the production to the right at a release planning level. We are not anyway going to change the length of the sprint, because if you change the length of the sprint, all my metrics will go for toss. I cannot take a 2 week sprint metrics and compare it with a 3 week sprint metrics.
Exactly. So that was my point. So which means that it is okay to descope one of the items which may be low
Correct.
priority in the sprint.
At a program level commit, see, the point is very simple. No, I have a bottle of a 5 liter. I can only pour maximum 5 liter water into it. If I want to pour 8 liter, then I need to either change the bottle, or I need to decrease the liter of waters getting poured into it. So either fix the date and change the scope, or fix the scope and then change the date. When I say date, I'm not talking about the sprint date, the go live date.
Correct.
Hope that
So
answers the question.
that is what I'm used to seeing in real life scenarios, that you cannot change the date because customer wants the release by such and such date. So you end up descoping some of the items which are
Correct. Or else we can do one thing. Certain features will be deployed to know the APAC and the EMEA regions. For all other features, for some other country code base, will be taken up at like as a part 2 of the release. We cannot do everything. That's for sure. Okay. Okay, Jyoti, are you able to understand, right? I have told you how are
Balaji.
we creating? How are we creating? So see, now you should see, the point is that if you are learning something, it is not just a learning here. You need to think like this learning, I can reuse it in how many places. It's not when I create, when I'm showing you agile transformation, something like this. This learning should also help you to work together with your product owner to even create a product road mapping. Also, everything is a roadmap. Transformation plan is a roadmap. Product roadmap also a roadmap. Release planning is also a roadmap. But the thinking should be there. Okay, now we'll do one thing. In the interest of time, can we give chance to Vivek to ask his questions? Vivek, can you go ahead, please, with
Yeah,
your
thanks,
questions?
Balaji.
Yeah,
Great.
please go ahead.
So,
Tell me.
yeah, my major challenge here is the leadership wants to know how
Mm.
we are making progress. See, the roadmap things are there. Okay, we can put into MVP. That's a goal
Okay.
for us. And weekly basis, whatever you are saying, those deliverables are great. It's fine.
Mm.
But how are you giving the leadership a visibility? What is happening? When and how to get their confidence, right? They also need to have a confidence on us to deliver.
Okay. See, you can send your weekly report, right, in terms of your WSR. If you are creating a WSR report, which is going to tell on a weekly basis, this is the progress I have made. Are you sending anything like a weekly report in terms of the
No,
progress update?
no, we are just kicking off the new transformation. Okay, so
Okay.
just
Okay.
setting up all the ways of working, all the things that is in the basic stage. So what I'm trying to is it should be as again there are multiple stakeholders are there, so multiple leadership are there. So they don't
Okay.
want to go through the long emails and go through the PowerPoint decks. It should be self-sustaining as well.
Hmm. So that's what I'm saying. At least a one slider you can create in terms of your WSR, no, the weekly status report in terms of what is achieved. Okay, let us try to do it now here, at least on a high level now. Okay,
No,
so
no.
that it will actually help you. See, now understand one thing. This has nothing to do with agile, nothing to do with AI, because even in a traditional waterfall model your stakeholders need to know the progress. But in
Correct.
agile it becomes even more relevant because you are operating at a fixed time box. So at the end of the every sprint they wanted to have a checkpoint. But WSR, DSR, all these reports has nothing to do with agile per se.
Correct.
So what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is, I will give you an example. Okay, I'm just creating a WSR in the front of you now. Okay, so
No,
just
no,
wait
sorry,
for.
sorry. No, just in interest of time, I just think this is not the purpose to fit it. I think self-sustaining, that should be there. See, a leader wants to get into, for example, they are using IBM target process tool. I don't know you are aware of
Okay.
this portfolio level where we can leaders can view it capability. So, for
Hmm.
example, talking about 400 plus capability to be delivered,
Okay.
right? It's a massive transformation we are talking about. So that level, the weekly series report will not give you pinpoint.
No, you are not going to create a report every time. All that I was trying to say is some updates need to happen in some kind of a knowledge management repository tools like a Confluence on a weekly basis. And in your WSR mail or PPT, you will just put that link over there. Let the guys go to the link and then see the updates. I'm not telling you to sit and create a PPT every week, but somewhere you need to maintain a document a repository, no, either in a SharePoint site or in a Confluence page in terms of what is the progress that you guys are doing on a weekly basis. That needs to be that needs to be documented. Correct?
Okay. I think you're not getting the actual problem statement. So
Mm. No, your tool itself will give you some dashboards, no, which you can reuse it for reporting, right?
right, exactly. Now you are getting the right process, the tool, right? Again, the target
Correct.
process will give a high level capability wise, the 400 capability we have, and let's go on the MVP 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and weekly basis what we are working on. But in the low
Correct.
level, they
Mm.
implemented in a Jira. The team will be
Okay.
the low level of the Jira wise. Okay. So we
Okay.
need to integrate target process, Jira, and
Mm.
then we need to showcase the overall reporting. How do you do that?
Okay. But what you okay, now you forget about the tools. Now forget about the tools. We will come back to the tools. What is your plan of what is that you wanted to showcase? That clarity you need to tell me now. What is the purpose of the report?
Yeah, purpose of the report is to give a confidence to our
Ah,
leaders. We are on track as per
okay.
our plan on monthly basis what we are arrived plan. We made a plan clearly, right? Monthly, what is our goal to arrive? Key milestones. Are we arriving or there? Are we on track or any milestone issues or any bugs?
Yeah, so yeah, understood. So fundamentally, your reporting mechanism should have a place to tell the rack status of the sprint or the project, correct?
Correct.
See, whether you put it in SharePoint or Confluence, all those are secondary. Your leaders will be interested to see, okay, let's say your project name is some name I'm telling, Africa, just like that. Okay, let's say your project name is Africa. First of all, I wanted to know whether Africa is in green or amber or red, correct?
Yeah.
If it is green, okay, now first thing is the risk. So that thing only I'm actually typing here. I'm not typing here the PPT entry. See, somewhere we need to begin to converge our thoughts, no? Otherwise, how will
Correct.
I tell my concepts to you? So all
Got
that
it.
I'm trying to say is you need to have the RAG entry, which is the beginning, which will tell at a high level, okay, where are we in terms of the project RAG. Now let me put something. Now definitely somewhere you might be having your milestone 1, your milestone 2, your milestone 3 or 4, maybe at a project level or maybe at a engagement level. Now what I'm trying to say is, if there is a possibility, I'm just giving you some examples, okay? You should not
Okay.
take it in a verbatim manner. Okay,
Yeah.
for milestone M1, which is a foundation setup, currently we are 75% completed. This is also an update.
Yeah.
And for milestone 2, let me say, if it is requirement and design, okay, now
Yeah.
let's, for convenience, I'll just put this as 100 so that the numbers make relevance when I put it over here. This is 75% completed. This attribute, this aspect of milestone is green. This aspect of milestone is also green. So now when it comes to development, this is somewhere around the 60 percentage. Unfortunately, this is in a red color. Now the question will come, why it is in a red color? So here you need to type what is the risk, what is the mitigation plan to bring it to amber. You cannot bring a project directly from red to green, logically, right? You
Mm.
still need to have some kind of a mitigation plan. That particular detail you may need to put. Okay. UAT is not in a risk as such when compared to the milestone, but it is in an amber state because it has a dependency with the development. So I cannot put it in a green status. So UAT is a completed 20 percentage. Okay. Then for this milestone, which is like in the production and the release, because these are all, I'm giving indicative milestones. Your
Yeah.
project will slightly change. Okay. Production. See, I talked to you for only 2 minutes now. How I can answer your question perfectly? You are inside the project. I am outside the project, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Mm.
I'm just giving you. This is how you need to approach it. This is still a 0%. Nothing we have a begin because, but we have some time for this. So this visibility they need to get it. Now, two things you need to keep in mind. You no need to do things from the scratch. Whatever your tools give, you should be able to reuse it without actual without no doing things from the scratch. Then this particular report, somewhere there should be an integration touch point in the Confluence or somewhere. There should be a mechanism to pull it whenever your guys are updating the sprint, whenever your guys are doing updates to the user story, features, epics.
Mm.
Automatically the release burn down charts will get created in the ALM tool. There should be a mechanism to just clip that and then put it in the final dashboard what you are exposing to the client. That's what you need to do. That's a quick answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course, you need to create a mitigation plan. You need to clearly mention this is the assumptions, this is the dependencies we have. So these granular details you can put it in an Excel file or something. If they are interested, let them double click on it.
Yeah. Got it.
But leaders will be interested in this only primarily. What is the RAG?
Exactly.
If
Yeah.
it is green, no problem. If it is amber, why it is amber? What are you going to do to bring it back to green? So 1 second, hold on. I need to think. What is that? I wrote one article. That article may help you. Long back, I wrote an article. we have something called as a go green plan. Go green plan means what is that I need to do now to bring the project from red to amber, then from amber to green. Can you go to internet and then make a search now? If you can get it, can you search it? Can you put like Balaji LinkedIn article, Go Green Plan, something like that?
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
also search. I'm just searching it in the phone now
Yeah,
because I don't want to disturb the laptop now. That's
yeah,
why. Okay. See, because we used to do something called ERR meeting, executive review meeting, something like that we used to do. QBR is different. This is something like executive risk review. Okay. Just,
okay.
I'm
I
just,
got your YouTube link. Maybe.
can you go there? Just 1 second, wait. I will give you the host permission. I wanted you to share the screen. Hey, 10 participants have joined. Oh, okay, fine. So, 1 second, 1 second, Vivek. We'll just give you the permission. Okay, okay. Can you go now? No, no.
Yeah,
Actually, can you share the screen if you're okay?
yeah. I'm just
No,
trying.
so that I will tell you exactly what you need to search also.
Okay, sure. Okay, share. Yeah. I hope you can see now.
Ah, okay. Is there anything like a video there? Can you come down below in that particular description? Is there any link? Go to that LinkedIn article. Open that article. How I changed my rack status in these things you see there, no? These articles will give you some pointers. If the project is in a red color, what are the checks and balances you can do to bring it back to green? Can you keep coming down? Uh, See, these things you may need to go through and take pointers from here and then use it in your solutioning.
Thanks, Balaji. Yeah, this is really interesting.
And there is one more article. You do one thing. Go to the Google and then type now Balaji LinkedIn article plus ERR, Enterprise Risk Review. You can open a new tab. Just check like Balaji LinkedIn article plus ERR, Enterprise Risk Review. I wrote one article in the past, I think. From there also you can take some pointers. I will check and send you people later. That's why you need to put the full forms. Risk review. Review. Just see now whether it comes. Go up a bit. No, not this, not this. This is the problem here. Put there Balaji.T. There in Balaji, then you put a capital T. Now you hit it. Okay, it's not coming. Then I will send you later. I need time to check it.
Okay, no worries.
But you got it, no? What are we trying
Yeah,
to tell?
understood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that you may need to do. See,
Thank
first
you.
thing is they will be, see, two things matter. Only two things matter to the leadership generally. Number one is where are we in terms of the deviation? Okay, number one is the risk. No, okay, sorry. No. First thing is the rack status, whether the project is in green or amber or red. Ideally speaking, you should not allow the project to go to red, right? When it is in amber itself, you should take something measures to bring it back to green. Unfortunately, if it is in a red, then you need to tell them this is the risk we have, this is why it is red, this is the mitigation plan in place, and this is the ETA. These are the people working on these action items, which is point number one. Second thing they will be interested to know, where are we in terms of the discrepancy between planned versus actuals? You are getting it right. At an engagement level, before the first sprint, as part of the discovery phase, we would have created a plan. This is the plan. This is the weekly plan. If there is no plan, that itself is a bigger risk, because against what will you compare? Okay. So in terms of your milestones, in terms of planned versus actuals, where are you currently? and what is the discrepancy between planned versus actual. Because if there is a discrepancy between planned versus actual, it will also show it in your dependency tracker and in your risk logs, or like your risk dashboard. These two things you may need to get it ready. Now, whether you put it in Confluence or SharePoint or in a PPT, that is a secondary. Third thing is, instead of building all the widgets right from the scratch, why don't you leverage the widgets whatever your tools give? But the problem with that is your team members should periodically update it. If not, the widgets will not get populated.
Yeah, exactly. That's a actual challenge as well, maybe in
That is
this.
a
Yeah.
see. Okay, that is another problem. We cannot combine all the problems, but all that I'm trying to say is, if I'm going to rely on the widgets, it comes with a downside. If your team members are not reflecting the progress, then your widgets will give a false data, even if you're making a progress.
Correct.
Correct.
But
So you
that should
connect
be
with me offline.
that should be the ideal way actually. That's what the leadership wants. Self-sustaining. They want to go over the stakeholders. They want to know what is happening on each capability. There should be, yeah, the widget
Correct,
should be
correct.
up data.
Correct. But let me tell something on a hilarious note. Let some problems be in the ecosystem. If all problems are getting solved, you will not have your job there.
Yeah, yeah, true. But
If
not
all
always
the
the
problems are
practical.
not there, then they will tell we will replace you with a AI agent. So that also you may need to keep in mind. I'm not saying that guys, no, see, I'm not telling people that you should be having all your problems. No, that's not the intent. The leadership will expect so many things, that is perfectly fine, but all that I'm trying to say is that some problems are bound to be there. No, some it is said in a proverb, some stones are bound to be there in a sack of rice. So some problems will be there, but as long as the problem is not creating, at an engagement level or at a project level, you should not create a catastrophe and create problem for you personally. That's no perfect enough to manage it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. See, I will take a pause here. We have already invested 1.5 hours now. Okay. So if any of you people wanted something like you wanted me to individually coach or mentor you in something, as you might be knowing, I'm already hosting a lot of mentorship programs across different levels. Reach out to me one on one, and then I will let you know the process. Even at 2 o'clock, I have the next mentoring session. So we will take a pause here. Okay.
Will you send us the Excel sheet which we formulated
Yeah, Excel sheet
just
I
for
can
reference?
send it. Not a problem, because it was primarily created for you people only. No, I will put it in the Zoom. You can actually download it now, because it will be difficult for me to send it in mail. So we can make it. So just be there for a minute. I'll just putting it. We put it as ATR, right? I think I named it as ATR.
So just to also confirm that if there is any transformation, agile transformation project, it will be almost on the same line. Let's say if you draw a bell curve, most of the agile transformation projects will be on the lines of what we discussed today. Is it safe to make that assumption?
Belco means, are you talking about this image what you sent now, or what is
No,
that
no,
you
no.
are
I'm
asking?
talking about Excel we created now and the thought process
Correct.
which went behind it. So most of the agile projects will be on the same lines. There won't be anything very much like there won't be a major deviation
No,
from what
see,
we
not
discussed.
only not only agile transformation, even if you are taking some other digital transformation, or if you are taking some other strategic transformations, the schema or the skeleton what we created is what we learned now. That is not going to change. The contents what you put inside the container will change, if you want to give like that. See, any transformation is always a journey from from a state X to some state Y, believing that my state Y is a better state of existence. That is the funda, right? Be it an organization change management, digital transformation, agile transformation, business transformation, the fundamental is same. You are taking team from current state to a target state with an assumption or a belief system that my target state is a better state of existence. Now, depending on the context, your critical success factor will change. What is actually to be state, what is actually as is, will come from the context. But the template is same. So you can reuse it across n number of engagements to answer to your question.
So it is not a transformation for the sake of transformation. It is transformation with clear benefits and outcomes in mind.
Absolutely. No, it is not transformation for the sake of a transformation. If a transformation is done for the sake of transformation, it will not create any positive impact. Then people will tell Agile failed, right? So it's not transformation for the sake of transformation.
It is just
If
like
you are
FOMO or FUD factor, which is there in several, like even with AI, which is going on, like it's a FOMO kind of a scenario. So,
See, now the world is moving towards AI transformation. Agile transformation was being a cream 6 years back, 8 years back. Now much of the companies are claiming to be transformed. Whether they really transformed or not is a different question altogether. Now companies or clients are having a perception that Agile is not something new to me. Okay, my guys know, my people know how to work in an agile manner. Can we focus on uh, can we focus on a ML ops? Can we focus on a AI ops? Even a DevOps has become redundant. No one talks about DevOps agile maturity at a larger scale. Those things are the trend in 2019, 2021. In 2026 kind of a time frame, the cream is AI transformation. Just to give you the background. So the same template what we created now, right? That template you can reuse for AI transformation, but the content will change. Okay.
but
Okay.
in
I
AI,
have
the
a hot
difference,
stop
no,
now.
again, the difference in AI is that it is more probabilistic. The outcomes may not be certain, as in case of an agile transformation. Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, definitely yes. No, because AI comes with a lot of hallucination, and there is a lot of reliability factors, credibility factors. You are responsible AI. AI governance needs to be taken care, and AI itself is very new. So we are in a fluid state of existence when it comes to AI. At least in Agile, we can say in a much more tangible manner. But see, all that I'm trying to say is when you are learning and when you are learning something in the agile transformation, you need to see what appropriate concepts can be reused in product transformation, strategic transformation, digital transformation, AI transformation. You should not appear that everything we are going to start from the scratch. That's what I'm trying to tell people. You got it right, Srini. Where am I coming from?
Yes, yes. So I got you. What you mentioned about the baselines and
Yeah,
having a baseline, the
contents will
stable
change,
baseline.
fully agreed. Value to the variables will change, and sometimes the variables will also change, but that overall that navigation journey will not change. So once you master one transformation, you should be able to replicate it quickly. Okay, so we'll take a pause here. Okay, if you have any further things, connect with me one on one. We'll see how it goes.
A very,
Okay.
very engaging session, Balaji. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Balaji.
Vivek, one thing I want to reclaim the host. Can you be there for a minute?
Sure.
Or can you give it back to me? I forgot the settings here somewhere in Zoom to reclaim the host. Is there a way? Can you just check?
Yeah, yeah.
You should be having that thing to give it back to me,
It's
right?
done.
Done, right? Super.